Everybody, it's Ryan here. In this video, I'm going to just share with you guys some of my wealth transfer plan. Yesterday, I watched the prophetic forecast by Apostle Joshua Giles. Man, if you have not seen that yet, I urge you guys to go ahead and watch it. It's a sobering word, but again, a lot of things that Apostle is saying right now, we need to take heed to and start moving in. And one of the things that I just wanted to come out here and share with you guys is just about thinking bigger, having your faith in check. It's interesting. Again, we can see the writing on the wall. The analysts are talking about this down economy, and again, I know some of the information is still being repressed, and people are not being honest about the recession that we're in. But interesting enough, as we're in this recession, the neighborhood that we live in now, there's still $1.2 million homes being built. There's a $1.2 million home. Next door, there's another home being built. I think it's at least like 1.2 or 1.3 million dollars. And so despite what's going on, despite the economy, people are still living by faith. People are still building. People are still growing, and people are still prospering in the shaking. And so one of the things that I want to do here is just share some things with you guys. My plan, my own personal plan about prospering in the shaking. Maybe it will help give you guys some insight about what you could do for yourself. And I hope that this blesses you in some type of way. Okay, first thing, that Apostle Joshua Giles talked about, something God showed me as well before, which is coming out of Proverbs 6, talking about the ant. This is definitely a time that we need to be storing up, that we need to be building up. And so one of the things that we have to look at, understanding that if this is a season for storing up, we have to look at the things that are, what are some of the things that may be devouring your finances right now? And so putting into the things that are devouring you, one of the things that God has specifically shared with me before, and something that I definitely took heed to and continuing to take heed to, is God specifically told me, don't eat your seed. A lot of people, especially in these times, let's say if you're working a job, you have a busy schedule, you're doing all these things, and it's so convenient getting caught up in eating out all the time, that there's probably more people eating their seeds that they're supposed to be planting and sowing or storing up just to survive. And it's almost like Esau, in a sense, that you're giving up your birthright or giving up your inheritance for a bowl of soup or a McDonald's meal. The other day I went to McDonald's, and I had to leave. They have this new, I guess, double Big Mac combo. That thing was almost $16-17. I'm like, for a Big Mac? I'm like, okay, yeah, this is a sign not to eat out anymore. And so one of the things that I'm doing right now to prosper in the shaking is, I believe YouTube is one of the biggest opportunities for any normal person without a lot of specialized skills to prosper. You don't need a lot of things. You need a phone or a camera, and you need an internet connection, obviously, to be able to upload the video that you recorded to the platform. And so that's literally the only two things you need. And so the internet connection doesn't have to be yours. You could literally go to Starbucks. Let's say if you're a person, you're absolutely destitute, you could go to Starbucks or some type of, go to McDonald's, any place they have free Wi-Fi, you could upload your video. But literally all you need is a smartphone, or a camera. And these days, smartphones are getting a lot cheaper. Obviously, you're watching this video somehow. And so however you're watching this video, it's probably the same tool or instrument that you can use to start a YouTube channel. Okay. And so one of the reasons why I tell people to start a YouTube channel, and this is one of the ways that you could start prospering and making money during the shaking, is just like we saw with the world-changing event that happened in 2020, where people were caused to stay indoors. When things are shut down, one of the things that happens is the consumption of content goes up. And so one of the things that I truly believe that God is going to allow us to prosper in the shaking is we've already seen how the shaking, for the most part, is going to play out. If we believe the prophets, if we believe the apostles who've been prophesying, and they're saying, and what God is showing us, that what is going to happen and transpire is going to be worse than the original thing that happened 4 years ago, then it would be safe to assume that some of the same patterns that took place during those times are going to happen again. And so we saw in 2020, 2021, while people were at home, there was an explosion of podcasts. There was an explosion on platforms like YouTube. People were just consuming content because that's the only thing that they had to do. And so many of you, as God has placed on your heart to start these YouTube channels, it's for preparation so that you would be in position to prosper during these economic times. Okay. And so that's the first thing that I practically tell people to do. That's something that I'm doing here myself. The second thing that I would say, based off of what Apostle was saying yesterday in his video, it's a practical thing that you can do and that I am currently doing right now, and even going to take even more serious based off of the prophetic word that was released on yesterday, is that God has given us all, if you are a believer, some form of wisdom and insight about specific things, right? And so one of the things that I truly believe that any person who is a born again believer can step into, and I urge them to step into, is becoming some type of consultant or becoming a coach or a mentor, right? And so these three things could be similar but still different. And so I'm gonna, try to unpack the differences. So a consultant, let's say that you work in a specific industry, you have a specific industry knowledge about something that you do in a professional manner. There are other companies or individuals who will pay you for your strategic insight and your strategic wisdom that can help them move forward. Most people, businesses, and entities, they have what's called a blind spot, right? And so what a blind spot is basically there's an internal problem that they have, but because they're in the problem or causing the problem, they can't see a solution. And so because you're an outsider, you're looking at the situation from an objective standpoint, you could give them insight, clarity that they wouldn't be able to get on their own. And if you do this for the right types of businesses or the right types of individuals, where these strategic consults, the strategic insights that you're able to give them can cause them to prosper, then you can charge a high fee for that, right? Which will allow you to prosper yourself by helping them prosper. Okay. And so what a coach is, which is different from a consultant, is you may have some experiential knowledge. Most coaches have some experiential knowledge. However, you yourself may not be the best person at what you do, right? As we can see, like, one thing I think about is as a coach in the NBA, most coaches in the NBA, they weren't the most absolute gifted player. We can see, like, when Michael Jordan tried to, be a coach, it didn't work. Or Magic Johnson tried to be a coach, it didn't work, right? And so usually a coach is someone who has some experiential knowledge in a field. They weren't the best person as far as performing a specific task, but their experiential knowledge of what that task entails has given them a unique insight and unique perspective to see things that other people may not see, right? And so I think about somebody like Steve Kerr. He was an excellent player, obviously a great shooter, but he was around the greatest individual basketball player to ever live, Michael Jordan. And so he was coached by, one of the greatest coaches to ever live, Phil Jackson. And so having those unique perspective, I believe he was an assistant coach to Greg Popovich, again, the most winningest coach of all time. And so he had like a complete amalgamation of what it means to be great as a basketball player and as a coach from different perspectives, right? God is giving you this opportunity. You were in all these, things that you thought were menial jobs or menial situations, but God was allowing you to get exposure to certain things so that you would have a unique insight and perspective. And so you can coach a person to have more success than you may have had in a particular field because of the unique insight that you obtain from your experiences, right? And so a mentor is someone who is currently doing the exact same thing that a person is doing, and they're doing it at a high level, right? And so those three things that you can begin to do right now to prosper, right? So starting YouTube, which is free. Every time you put out a piece of content, once you're monetized, you can make money from the AdSense revenue. This is revenue that advertisers will pay you to advertise their products or service on your channel. You can become a coach, a mentor, or a consultant. So this is another avenue. Another thing that I would suggest, and I am going to be even stepping more into myself, is creating digital products. This is one thing that Apostle Joshua Giles talked about yesterday. Two areas he said to focus on would be in the digital product, the digital space, also with AI as well. And so the unique thing about a digital product is that you could take the expertise, the knowledge, the skills that you have currently, and you could package them up into a product like an ebook, a video course, an audio training, a worksheet, a template, a checklist. Literally, I mean, there's hundreds of different types of digital products that you could create. And the best thing about it is once you create the product once, because it's digital, it's not taking up physical space. So you could sell that product or service to as many people as possible without there being additional costs to you. And so one of the most successful digital products that I've created before was a digital product type called a membership site. Okay. And so on this particular membership site, we would charge people $1 to come into our membership to check out, the material, the training that we were offering, the digital products we were offering. And if they liked and enjoyed the products that we were selling, then we would offer them more training and products on a monthly basis. Okay. And so they would pay $47 per month to have ongoing access to the products that we're offering, and they would pay $47 a month. Okay. And so at one point, that particular website and membership had roughly around 500 to 600 people paying $47 on a monthly basis. And so with a membership site, you can grow your income. It's going to be one of the most reliable things that you can do and build to help you prosper during the shaking. One of the things about a membership site is as you grow it, as you provide a space for people to consume and to prosper in their own right, based off of what you're teaching them. Sometimes they feel like if you're doing a good job that they can't leave because what you're offering them is something that's vital for their success to keep going, to keep prospering whatever field of information that you're teaching. Okay. So this would be another avenue. Another thing that I'm looking into starting from scratch right now, not completely from scratch, but another business would be a software business. And one of the things about software is when people use software, especially for business, if it becomes something that's integral for their business to continuously be viable. So let me give you an example. So like today, even right now, Facebook and Instagram are down. There was a major outage, right? And so there's a lot of people who right now, their primary business is on Facebook and Instagram, and they can't reach out to their contacts. They can't reach out to their people. So it's costing them money, right? And so one software that someone could create is like and there are already softwares out there like this, so I'm just giving you as an example, where it allows you to capture people's information, like their email address, their phone number. And so you can personalize a message and send it out to them, right? So like a CRM, you could send out a message to your prospects, your clients in real time. It'll go to their phone, it'll go to their email address. And so whatever message that you need to send out can be sent out in real time. You actually own the consumer data, and it's not like you're relying on any third-party platform to stop you from being able to prosper when they have downtimes and outages. Okay. And so these are just a couple different ideas. One channel that I know that I'm going to start here, because I live in Las Vegas, is a tour, Las Vegas tour channel, where my wife and I, we're going to, tour restaurants. We're going to tour some of the attractions here in Las Vegas. And the interesting thing about it is, obviously with YouTube, you can make money from the ads that play on your video. A lot of these places, as you start to gain exposure and you grow your audience, on these platforms, they will either pay you to come tour their establishment, or give you the services for free. So a lot of these influencers you see, I saw one influencer yesterday who I'm in a group with. They went to one of the like a high-end restaurant in New York yesterday. Their bill came out to like $507, and I think part of their influencer agreement was that they would have $500 in free spending money at the restaurant to try. It was like a 7-course meal, and so I think they went over by $7. So it cost the influencer $7 to have a $500 meal. And so some of the most unique experiences, some of the most fun things that you probably want to do with you, your family, your kids, as you start like a YouTube channel. And this is one of the reasons why I tell people to start with this, because it doesn't cost you any money to get started. That as your influence grows, then you can start to strategically think about your life. Where you go on vacations, you can end up making your vacations free. You decide to go to whatever place you're going to travel to anyway. Let's say you want to go to a 3-day vacation to Hawaii, right? And so you have budgeted that you and your family can afford to go for 3 days. You could actually, decide to go 1 day early, strategically spend the day recording content about the best places, the best restaurants to go, and based off the content that you produce, you put on platforms like YouTube or Facebook, you can have that content pay for your whole trip. As people watch the videos, as people watch the content, you're going to earn money from the content that people are watching, and essentially, reimburse yourself for the trip as well. And so I think YouTube, again, if you haven't started a business, you haven't started figuring out how you're going to prosper in this shaking, I'm going to encourage you to start YouTube, because it's so simple. And so even on this weekend, on this Sunday, March the 10th, I'm going to be hosting a one-time only YouTube workshop where I'm going to show you the 4-step system right now that I'm using right now to grow on YouTube. We're growing about 2,000 subscribers a month now, and I believe that this will be like the lowest amount of subscribers that we will get moving forward. I've learned some things. I believe God has showed me some things, some insights about how to use the platform effectively to grow. And so I want to show you how to do that. And so this workshop is a paid workshop. It's going to be $47. So if you made it this far in the video and you want to prosper in the shaking, what I'm going to encourage you to do, if you would like to come to that workshop, the information of how to attend is going to be below this video. It's going to be in the description. Like I said, it's $47. I would love to see you there so that I can help you and show you specifically how you can actually start creating income starting as soon as Monday, which would be the day after the workshop, how you can actually start making money pretty much immediately following the webinar and the workshop, so that you can prosper during the shaking. Okay, and so this is my plan. Eventually I want to have 6 to 7 YouTube channels, because even on one individual YouTube channel, as you're making content, like as you guys can see, like I'm wearing a St. Louis sweater today. However, if I was wearing my own merchandise, this could be like another revenue stream. I could promote the clothing that I'm wearing and send people to it, right? Another revenue stream. Obviously, like let's say if I decided to start a beauty product line, so maybe for men, maybe some type of beard oil. Again, I've seen people comment about my skin, and so maybe again just having some type of skincare product that I recommend. All these different things you can do and make money from a single YouTube video. And so you can literally make money like 10 different ways from a single YouTube video. And so the price of the workshop is $47. However, again, if you implement all the strategies I'm going to show you on this webinar, the webinar, the workshop is going to more than pay for itself if you apply what it is that I'm sharing with you. So God bless you guys. Again, you can prosper in the shaking. Watch Apostle Joshua Giles' video if you haven't already. I believe it's going to bless you. It's also going to inspire you to take action with whatever plan that God is showing you. And maybe this is the plan that he's showing you. And so God bless you guys. I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye-bye.